Hello! Welcome to All Essays. Reach your academic heights. My name is Julie and I will be your instructor as we read through HRM dissertation. The article source is embedded in the video description below. Feel free to read along. Please note that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay for as little as $10 a page at All Essays. The link is in the description. Chapter 1 Introduction for an organization to survive and expand in the rapidly competitive environment dominated by several players, it is paramount for an organization to perform. The organization performance would be measured according to several variables such as profitability, sales, production quality and market share. However, few organizations give prominence for the most important factors, which is human resources performance. According to HRM commentators, retention and development of the organization employees are pivotal for organization performance. The overall purpose of human resource management is to ensure that the organization is able to achieve their success through people. Ulrich and Lake, 1990, states that HRM systems can be the source of organizational capabilities that allow firms to learn and capitalize on new opportunities. But on the other hand, HRM has an ethical dimension as well, which means it should also concern the rights and needs of people in an organization. With the increased competition, globalization, boundless technological advances, companies are forced to think about the factors like HRM, environment, etc. to run the extra mile ahead of the others. Therefore, nowadays employers consider investments on the HRM functions are very significant and effective, rather than seeing it as just a cost. As it's shown above, HRM should be incorporated with each and every function within an organization. Starting from the recruitment process to the training and development, performance appraisal, performance incentives, promotion system, design of work and working environment, etc. should align with effective HRM practices, as it will reduce the direct and indirect employee grievances, which results in highly motivated and pleased workforce, which in turn influences on the overall organization performances. When considering the structure of the human resource management, there are two categories. 1. Managerial functions. 2. Operative functions. Functions of HRM: managerial functions, operative functions, planning, employment, organizing, human resource, directing, development, controlling, compensation, human relations. Recent trend in HRM. 1. Managerial functions, it include planning, organizing, directing and controlling. Planning is the main activity that a manager has to consider. The management has to decide what to do and how to do to achieve the objective of the organization. Management uses this process to plan the future of the company, decide what actions they are going to make to avoid difficult problems, etc. Bateman, Snell, 2007. Organizing is established in the internal structure of the organization. It mainly concerns the flow of information within the company, division and coordination. Manager has to know what the subordinates can do and what kind of training they need. To achieve the objectives set in the planning process, there should be a proper organization of work. In here, the management set the tasks, responsibilities and authorities to the employees. The manager has to discuss the tasks with the employees and has to clarify what to do, how to do and make them understand about the job. Allen, G., 1998. Then it is easy to achieve the objective. Directing is the next stage after completing planning and organizing. This is to execution of the plan. It influences the people to achieve the objectives in a correct way through motivation, communication, and leadership. The proper direction of employees will affect the achievement of the objectives. The manager has to have a proper relationship with the employees in the company, and then they can easily direct the employees to achieve the target. Controlling involves checking, verifying and comparing of the actual with the plan that the company set. Actions and operations are adjusted to identify plans and standards through control. The training programs, conducting interviews, analyzing labor turnover details are some of the controlling functions that a manager can work out. Controlling allows setting the performance standards within the groups and to do the proper communication. 2. Operative functions. These activities are related to specific activities such as employment, human resources development, compensation, human relations and recent trends in human resource management. Employment. This means securing and employing the people with the relevant qualifications to achieve the organizational objectives. The functions included in employment are job analysis, human resource planning, recruitment, selection, placement and induction. Human resource development. This is the process of improving skills, knowledge, attitudes, aptitudes, commitment, etc. depending on the organizational requirements. The functions included in human resource development are performance appraisal, training, management development, career planning and development, promotion, demotion and change and organization development. Compensation. This is the process of providing sufficient, equal and fair reward to all employees. The functions included in compensation are job evaluation, incentives, wage and salary, bonus, fringe benefits, social security and measures. Human relations. It is the process of interaction between people. The management can practice different human resource policies to interact with the people. Good relationship will motivate people to do a better job in the organization. The functions in human relations include motivating the employees, developing the communication skills, developing leadership skills, providing comfortable work environment to the people, improving quality of work life of employees and boosting employee morale. Recent trend in human resource management. This area is always developing. It is advancing at a fast rate. The recent trends in human resource management is quality of work life, recent techniques of human resource management and total quality in human resources. In 1989, David Guest describes a human resource model according to what he thought. This model consists of 4 elements. 1. Human resource policies and practices. 2. Human resource outcomes. 3. Organizational outcomes. 4. Leadership. 1. Human resource policies and practices. When an organization is introduced, there are many policies available in a company. They are organization and job design, management of change, recruitment, selection and socialization, appraisal, training and development, reward systems, communication. According to this model, human resource policies are designed to achieve the 4 key human resource outcomes, which explains as the second element of this model. 2. Human resource outcomes. The model include followings: commitment, quality, flexibility, strategic integration. Quality is not only concerned about the quality of manufacturing product or the services provided by the company, it includes the quality of the workforce, the management of the workforce and the human resource policies used in the company. Flexibility is the facility to change the jobs people are doing, working arrangements such as number of hours they are working and the nature of employees' contract. Strategic integration is the link between human resource strategy and business strategy. Guest explains that integration requires an organizational culture where managers work or share. The commitments have a direct relationship with valued business consequences. He says that commitment is confused and that the relationship between commitment and the performance is difficult to establish. When an employee commitment is higher, means that employee is satisfied about the facilities and the way the company treat to employees. When they are satisfied, performance will be automatically higher in the organization. 3. Organizational outcomes. The organizational outcomes include following: high job performance, high problem solving, high innovation, low turnover, absence, high cost, effectiveness. 4. Leadership. Leadership is the most important element to make all these outcomes success. With the understanding of the importance of the involvement of HRM for the betterment of an organization, this paper is about the effect of HRM development to the IFS business success. 1.1 Aims and objectives of the study. During the recent years, IT sector began to bloom and many leading IT professionals fortified the future of their companies by investing in Sri Lanka. Within few years it begins to expand, and nowadays it has become a major business sector which supports the economy and which provides enormous career opportunities to the younger generation. Latest tests show that over 175 software development companies are actively operating in Sri Lanka, which are originated from both national and international grounds, and they are providing services for both the export and domestic markets. Some of these companies and their products are already well recognized and performing extremely well in the IT sector by competing with other foreign markets. Among these, companies like Millennium Information Technologies, who not only turned the Colombo Stock Exchange in Sri Lanka into the world's first ever event-driven exchange, but with their versatile automated trading system have powered the Boston Stock Exchange among several other clients in the United States, as well as exchanges in Europe, Asia Pacific and Africa. Virtusa Corporation, one of the fastest growing software services firms in the US with 7 years of consecutive growth and the largest technology center based in Sri Lanka, and Informatics, a local company whose telecom product is in operation at the regional sites of some of the world's leading telecom operators, such as Cable and Wireless of UK and Millicom of Luxembourg, are leading the way, marking the name of Sri Lanka in the world. Furthermore, international names like A9AYTZ from Sweden have set up their research and development center employing over 700 people, and recently Microsoft and Oracle have also opened offices in Sri Lanka. Graph 1. This is an effort to find out the involvement of human resource to the success of Sri Lankan IT sector and how well they are managed for them to get ready to face the future challenges in ever-changing world. Taking the IFS Sri Lanka Limited as the reference point, the research will focus on interpreting the influence of human resource management on the company's success. Research as a whole is a process to find an answer to a specific question. The initial objectives of the study are to formalize the necessary procedures and questions to be answered, in order to gather the intended information, which will be desirable in finding an answer to the core research question. To achieve the above objectives, following are the outline of the information that we'll try to gather, to be used in developing proper evaluations and conclusions. 1. Actions taken to motivate the employees. 2. Established procedures on providing job satisfaction to the employees. 3. The process of developing employee skill and how the company utilize it. 4. How strong is the employee-employer relationship? 5. Level of performance of the company and how the employees contribute its success. 1.2 Company background. IFS is one of the world's leading providers of component-based business software developed using open standards. Since 1983, IFS has been a provider of business applications focused on meeting the needs of selected industries. Basically, IFS operates in two areas: lifecycle management, where asset and product lifecycle management are critical issues, and mid-market ERP, enterprise resource planning, which covers distribution and manufacturing in mid-size companies. Mainly company operates in Europe, the US, the UK, Australia and Asia, with the head office situated in Linköping, Sweden, and having the employees about 2,723. Today, IFS is a global software company that helps leading enterprises improve efficiency, cut costs, react swiftly to market conditions, and take advantage of new business opportunities. IFS Applications, its suite of more than 60 web-based components, is the only true component-based business solution on the market, allowing deploying the software step-by-step as companies' needs and budget dictate. Using open standards, IFS makes it easier to stay up to date with technology and integrate with legacy systems. And only IFS offers total lifecycle management, enabling their customers to maximize profitability over the life cycles of your products, customers, and assets. If superior technology, functionality, and industry focus have won praise from some of the world's leading analyst firms, Gartner recognizes IFS as either a visionary or a leader in all four of its ERP and asset management magic quadrants. Most important, its legendary commitment to customer service has never wavered. Today, IFS has an impressive roster of satisfied customers, ranging from mid-size companies to global industry leaders such as PepsiCo, General Electric, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, DuPont, Volvo, BMW, Deere & Company, and Rockwell Automation. Since the day IFS was founded, they have given a greater importance for the customer service. Therefore today, IFS has become the only enterprise software provider that offers a global product for the mid-market together with local support. IFS has support centers in each country in which it operates, ensuring that you will receive the best customer support anywhere in the world. IFS keep track of your unique component configuration, patch levels, and customizations, ensuring that the information is available globally to all IFS support centers. Therefore it has become the huge network of all the information required to solve the customer issues without any unnecessary delays. Within the huge IFS network, office in Sri Lanka has a major importance, as it is one of the 2 IFS R&D centers in world and major part of software development is done there, with having more than 700 employees in 2 local country offices. The focus group for the study is mainly taken from Sri Lankan offices, and depending on the opportunities, employees from the other locations were involved in the study. 1.2.1 Financial highlights. Based on the IFS Annual Report 2008, it illustrates that the company is having growth in every section. Mid-2008, IFS has announced long-term financial targets entailing that, in the next 5 years, product revenue will double through organic growth and acquisitions, the operating margin will increase to 15%, the dividend will rise to 50% of earnings after tax, and surplus liquidity will be used to repurchase shares. Furthermore, report says that IFS has signed 10 largest license agreements during the year, had an aggregate value of SKR 141 million, whereas the corresponding for 2007 was SKR 103 million. A total of 20 license agreements valued at more than $0.5 million each were signed. And in all, 215, 177 in 2007, new customers were added, and 760, 778 in 2007, customers either upgraded or expanded their existing solutions. Annual net revenue, annual earnings before interest and tax, EBIT, value, net debt. In order to summarize the success, I have extracted the above 3 from the report, which explains the key factors of company's growth. Net revenue, 7, amounted to SKR 2,518 million, 2,356 in 2007, an increase of 7%, which is the highest revenue the company achieved per year for the last 4 years. EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, value turns out to be SKR 1,154, which is a great turnover compared to the value, SKR -128 in 2004. Furthermore, as A9 shows, IFS have succeeded in diminishing their debts. They have been able to reduce the debts from SKR 1,363 to SKR 1,003, which is a sole evidence for the success of the company. Variation of total assets, number of employees. While concerned of their financial growth, IFS seems dedicated to the expansion of the company. From 2004 to 2008, their asset, as well as number of employees, has increased continuously in a similar rate. 1.3 Significance of the research. Success and development of any company depends on the level of human resource involvement. Therefore, it is most important to maintain motivated and satisfied workforce to obtain the very best results of its investment. Skill development, employer-employee relationship, grade and pay structure, and employee benefits are some of the key factors which directly related with the motivation of the workforce. Purpose of study is to find out how well the importances of above factors are absorbed in the Sri Lankan IT sector. Within IFS Sri Lanka Limited, the research will try to extract the information related to the specific factors and analyze them with every aspect of the company's performances. 1.4 Structure of the research work. With having the text divided into the several sections, the dissertation starts with an introduction, which provides the basic understanding of HRM and its functions. It concludes with an overview of the whole thesis, including the information helpful for the reader to understand the topic and related facts we are going to discuss about. The next section is the literature review, which explains relevant theories that will help to support the topic, and it is followed by the research methodology, which explains the research approach and how the aims and objectives are planned to achieved. Moreover, it clearly explains the methods that used to collect the relevant data and explain the reasons why they are chosen. The results section provides the actual results I have obtained, carrying out the research, and within the analysis section, it exploits the information gathered and structured a comprehensive analysis. Conclusion and recommendation sections conclude the research with interpreting the gathered data and results obtained in analysis section, along with the aims and objectives discussed at the beginning, and provide the necessary recommendations based on the live facts and exhibit the virtue of the research. 1.5 Limitations of research. The main limitation of this research is getting the access to the employees within the selected company. The results would be much meaningful if the researcher is succeeded in involving many individuals as possible. Therefore, it would be a greater challenge to formalize an easy and simple method to acquire the relevant information from the employees, to make sure that they don't feel it is an extra burden. Time can be considered as the other major issue, since I have to formalize the whole process within a very short time period and to make sure it has grasped many individuals as possible. Chapter 2 Literature Review. Job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is one of the most important aspects related to the employee management, as it is directly related to the performance of an organization. Because if humans tends to listen to the feelings deep in their thoughts, it's not enough to fulfill every other things if the employee is not satisfied with what she does. Job satisfaction is not same as the motivation, but it linked. Job design is aimed to enhance job satisfaction and performance by using different design methods such as job rotation, job enlargement, job enrichment, etc. Job satisfaction can be viewed as a pleasurable or positive emotional state resulting from the appraisal of one's job experience, Locke 1976. When someone is satisfied with his or her job, that is job satisfaction, or when any job is fulfilled one's expectation, that is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction mainly considers the attitudes and feelings that people have about the work. The Guion, 1958, defines morale as the extent to which an individual's needs are satisfied and the extent to which the individual perceives that satisfaction as stemming from his total work situation. However, there are some features of job satisfaction identified by Paul Spector's, 1985, such as pay amount and fairness or equity of salary, promotion opportunities and fairness of promotion, supervision fairness and competence at managerial tasks by one's supervisor, benefit insurance, vacation, and fringe benefits, contingent procedures, sense of respect, recognition and appreciation. According to Luthan, 1998, there are three important views to job satisfaction. 1. Job satisfaction is an emotional thing related to a job that cannot measure. 2. It is determined by how well outcome is achieved or exceeds expectations. 3. It shows some attitudes which can be used to identify how employees think about their job and how they achieve their targets. The factors that affect the job satisfaction of an employee can be divided into three main areas. 1. Internal factors. 2. External factors. 3. Individual factors. Internal, external and individual factors which affect the job satisfaction are listed in the table. Internal factors are the factors that link to work, but those are not the only factors affecting job satisfaction. External factors are related to work or to the working environment, and individual factors mainly consider a person and the person's family and network of friends. Job satisfaction factors. Description. Internal factors. Job variety, number of skills and depth of knowledge required to do the job. Autonomy, the freedom that the employee get to control their own work. Goal. Determination, the freedom that the employees get to set their own targets and the criteria to achieve those targets. Feedback and recognition, the private and public comments that they achieve for their performance. External factors. Achievement, the person's success on their job. The trainings, improved equipments, proper education may be the way to increase the achievement and the job satisfaction. Role ambiguity and role conflicts, knowing the position of the workplace, responsibilities and agreement between roles. Clarifying the tasks in the job and the position in the organization. When reduced role ambiguity, it leads to job satisfaction. Opportunity, the opportunities with the current and the other employers. If employees feel they have fewer opportunities in the current position, then job satisfaction decrease. Job security, the assurance that employees get to their job. Social interaction, the way they deal with the others. The quality and the quantity of the interaction. Supervision. Herzberg explained this as a hygiene factor. The quality of management is affected the job satisfaction. If the quality is lower, worker can become dissatisfied. Organizational culture and management style can decrease job satisfaction. Work schedules match between work schedule and the employee's schedule. Flexitime may increase the job satisfaction by allowing employee to interface between work life and personal life. Seniority, the time duration that a person has held a position. When people are respected the seniority, it will increase job satisfaction. Compensation, the rewards and the role of money. Individual factors. Commitment, this is the dedication that a person is doing to his or her job. If the actions of researching, selecting and the way he/she doing the job is visible to friends and others, then the person is satisfied. Expectations. Every person has some expectation. Basically what people expect in return for work. Job involvement. How important a job in someone's life. More the person involved, more satisfaction. Effort/reward ratio. This is the balance between the amount they worked and rewards received. Comparisons. How a person can rate the job with someone else's jobs. If a person has a good job compared to others, they are satisfied. Age. How old someone. The people who are old have more work experience. They understand what are the best thing to do, but sometimes they cannot satisfy with their job. Younger people have no previous experience which to compare with the current job, so they are satisfied. Table 1. There are two main theories of job satisfaction, variance theory and the model of job characteristics. According to Hagman and Oldham, 1975, the variance theory explains that if you want X from your work, then you are satisfied to the extent that it provides you with X. The second model explains the causes of job satisfaction are objective characteristics. When the employees are satisfied with their work, they tend to work more, they are become more committed to the organization, and they are more productive than previous. They try to achieve their targets in a better way. Bravendam Research Incorporated, 2002. However, job satisfaction association with organizational commitment that was not mentioned in most of the studies was noted by Elangovan, 2001. A negative association between the job satisfaction, stress and commitment was indicated in his study. According to his study, higher stress leads to lower job satisfaction and this in turn results in lower commitment. Petty et al., 1984, explains that there are three possible links between performance and job satisfaction. 1. Satisfaction generates performance. 2. Performance generates satisfaction. 3. Satisfaction and performance link indirectly. 1. Satisfaction generates performance. When designing the job, it should aim to produce job satisfaction. Then it will optimize worker performance. 2. Performance generates satisfaction. When a person performs well, that achievement generates job satisfaction. He/she feel to do more for their job, so the effort should be made to improve performance, then it will increase job satisfaction. 3. Satisfaction and performance link indirectly. These two are linked but under certain conditions. Apart from the above theories, there are successful studies proving the importance and impact of maintaining a satisfied workforce. The analysis by Vroom, 1964, covered 20 studies, in each of which one or measures of job satisfaction or employee attitudes were correlated with one or more criteria of performance. Low salaries, lack of status and social security affect the motivation. When the motivation is low, job satisfaction is low. Lack of job satisfaction is a sign of turnover in an organization. The salaries and benefits which employees can achieve are related to job satisfaction. Motivation management is nothing more than motivating other people, is one of the most popular and proven principle followed within any kind of organization. Motivation is concerned with the strength and direction of behavior and the factors that influence individuals to behave in certain ways. Individuals are motivated to perform in a specific method based on their perception of the situation. Motivation primarily concerned with what energizes human behavior, what direct or channels such behavior, how this behavior is maintained. Motivation concerns energy, persistence and direction. According to Arnold et al., 1991, there are three components of motivation. 1. Direction, what a person is trying to do. 2. Effort, how hard a person is trying. 3. Persistence, how long a person keeps on trying. According to the diagram, felt need creates tension for people. Tensions motivate people to avoid it. The environment will influence to shape people needs and expectations influence the effort. Management can influence employees' expectations in a different ways, by offering incentives and setting them specific goals. The person's effort and results can influence the level of performance. The rewards/outcomes are the results achieved. Outcome can come from internal/external environment. Outcomes are always not positive. It can be negative as well. If it is negative, they tend to result in employee dissatisfaction/demotivation. There are a number of motivation theories which are complementary to one another. The content models in motivation mainly focus on the needs that individuals are trying to satisfy in a situation. The process models focus on how managers can change the situation in a better way to tie satisfaction to performance. Reinforcement theory is as developed by Hall, 1951, suggests that successes in achieving goals and rewards act as positive incentives and reinforce the successful behavior, which is repeated the next time a similar need emerges, which is coincided with a theory by Taylor, 1911, who wrote, "It is impossible, through any longer period of time, to get workmen to work much harder than the average men around them unless they are assured a large and permanent increase in their pay." In this theory there are four principal techniques available. 1. Positive reinforcement. If someone encourages the people when they've done something, they are utilizing positive reinforcement. 2. Escape avoidance reinforcement. Negative reinforcement. This is a form of a reinforcement. It increases the behavior of a person by taking away something bad. The negative reinforcement is not same as punishment. It is not a form of a punishment. 3. Extinction, repeated non-reinforcement, elimination of behavior. 4. Punishment. Most of the people are not expected to take this kind of an experience. The main idea of punishment is to withhold rewards. Motivation is only likely when a clearly perceived and usable relationship exists between performance and outcome, and the outcome is seen as a means of satisfying needs. This theory was developed by Porter and Lawler, 1968, into a model that follows Vroom's ideas by suggesting that there are two factors determining the effort people put into their jobs. First, the value of the rewards to individuals that they satisfy their needs for security, social esteem, autonomy and self-actualization, and the second is that rewards depend on effort, as perceived by individuals. According to Latham and Locke, 1979, motivation and performance are higher when individuals are set specific goals, when goals are difficult but accepted, and when there is feedback on performance. Abraham Maslow developed the hierarchy of needs model in 1940s and still is valid today to understand motivation, management training and personal development. This model explains the responsibility of employers to provide the workplace environment which encourages employees to fulfill their requirements. At the same time, he explains needs are interrelated with some other needs that are less understood. Those are knowledge needs, understanding needs and aesthetic needs. The relationship of Maslow's other needs. The need for knowledge is defined as the desire to build up facts and the need for understanding is an extension of the need for knowledge. This involves search for the relationships between things and what they know, and it includes the search for meaning. The aesthetic needs are the beautiful things need to be surrounded. According to Maslow, all these needs are worked together to form a complete picture. The Maslow's need mix basically applies to people who are in lower level than normal people because their needs for food and shelter are satisfied in a very poor way. On the other hand, large portion of population can be characterized by the Diamond-Maslow needs mix. In this group, strongest needs are to be social, with esteem, self-realization and safety. Basic physical needs are the least important. Charles Handy described a model called motivation calculus, and it is an extension of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This model explains cognitive and external reference points. He described that people's motivation is focused on series of needs than needs alone. In 1959, Herzberg explains that satisfaction and dissatisfaction at work can be different and can be made up of different factors because the way individuals believe is different. And he says that the factors which motivate employees at the workplace can be different and need not to be the opposite of the factors to make them dissatisfaction for their work. He developed motivation, hygiene theory to explain the outcomes. Herzberg explains that there are two different human needs. Physiological needs, which can be fulfilled by having money. Psychological needs, to achieve and grow. These are fulfilled by activities. Herzberg describes a two-factor theory to explain this concept. He explains two factors that influence the behavior of employees in the organization. 1. Hygiene factors. These are the facets of the work environment that should be available in order to do the job. He believes money is a hygiene factor. This means money does not motivate people and that money does not give job satisfaction. He says that money only produces movement, not motivation. Because according to Herzberg, the hygiene factors are quality of supervision, rules and policies, salary and certain types of employee benefits, working conditions, job security, relationship with supervisors, subordinates and peers too. Motivator factors, these are facets that actually give a reason for the people to grow in their work. He states motivational factors as achievement, job itself, growth and advancement possibilities, recognition, responsibility, feedback. Achievement means that employees achieve their objective, so this is very important for employees. Job itself is a motivating factor, because the way they're doing their job, what they have to do to achieve their objectives and the things they learn during their working time. Growth and advancement is like carrot and stick philosophy. Recognition is appreciated by many employees. They like to have recognition for themselves within the organization. Employees are motivated easily when they are allocated for a responsible work. They try to do their work better than other people. Herzberg believes that ideal form of feedback is inherent to the job. The person does not have to be told that he/she has done a job, it is known automatically. In 1960, Douglas McGregor proposed the X-Y theory. This theory is still commonly used in the field of management and motivation and remains a valid basic principle from which to develop positive management style and techniques. McGregor's XY theory is a salutary and simple reminder of the natural rules for managing people, which under the pressure of day-to-day business are all too easily forgotten. McGregor maintained that there are two fundamental approaches to managing people. Many managers tend towards theory X, and generally get poor results. Enlightened managers use theory Y, which produces better performance and results, and allows people to grow and develop. However, unlike Maslow and Herzberg, Vroom is not concerned on needs, but focus on outcome. Vroom's expectancy theory states that people choose their behaviors and the level of effort that they can provide, after considering whether their behaviors and effort will improve their performance and whether there are anything to achieve through it. Rewards, recognition, etc. Vroom hypothesizes that in order for a person to be motivated, that effort, performance and motivation must be linked. He proposes three variables to account for this, which are valence, expectancy, instrumentality. In 1963, John Stacey Adams explains his equity theory on job motivation. This theory mainly deals with expectations and the concept of fairness. It considers what people expect to get from their jobs. The employee's expectations are not gathered means they are not satisfied with their job. It will affect the motivation and the performance of the company. When the people feel that they are treated well in the organization, they are more likely to be motivated, otherwise they are dissatisfied or demotivated. When people are working in an organization, they all expect equity. It considers not only the pay, but the facilities such as vacations, trainings, work assignments and recognition. Adam explains effort and rewards issues at work respectively as inputs and outputs. Inputs are logically what we give or put into our work. Outputs are everything we take out in return. The equity state occurs when a person's work inputs, I, equal to their work output, O. Thus I equals O. If a person feel that they doing more to job, he/she will receive rewards, I, O. If a person feel that they're doing less and getting more from their jobs, I, O. They feel guilty and increase their effort. Adams used the term a friend others to describe as reference points or people with whom we compare our own situation, which is the pivotal part of the theory. This comparative aspect of equity theory provides a far more fluid and dynamic appreciation of motivation than typically arises in motivational theories and models based on individual circumstance alone. It also explains how it affects to others if the company provide a promotion or a pay rise for another person. The equity theory of motivation assumes a balance of employee inputs and outputs to others. The following diagram shows how it works. The equity theory pivotal comparative aspect that helps managers and policymakers to appreciate that while improving one person's terms and conditions can resolve that individual's demands, for a while, if the change is perceived by other people to upset the equity of their own situations, then the solution can easily generate far more problems than it attempted to fix. Equity theory reminds us that people see themselves and crucially the way they are treated in terms of their surrounding environment, team, system, etc., not in isolation, and so they must be managed and treated accordingly. In 1999, Stoke explains motivation is a human psychological characteristic that contributes to a person's degree of commitment. He explains there are some assumptions that a manager has to consider when dealing with the employees. Those are: first, assume motivation as a good thing. Second is motivation has an impact on employees' performance such as resources, ability, etc. Third is manager has to think motivation is in short supply and need a periodic replenishment. Fourth is motivation is a tool which managers can use in the organization. David C. McClelland has done a study of achievement needs, and in this study he suggests that strength of the achievement need is dependent on three factors in any situation. 1. The expectation of success. 2. The value of the outcome to the person, rewards and incentives. 3. The feeling of personal responsibility for the achievement. He explains that some people have strong bias to their motivational needs, and this will affect their behavior and the working style. At the same time, he suggests some characteristics and attitudes to motivate people are: feedback is essential to motivate an employee because it provides a measurement of success. Feedback must be consistent and accurate. Achievement motivates people to improve their working style. Financial benefits or reward considered as the success factors. Achieving the objectives means gain of personal satisfaction in receiving recognition. Strategies of motivating employees: salary, wages and conditions of service. In 2000, Cantoy described that money is the most important motivation strategy, and F. Taylor explains money is the most important factor to motivate employees to achieve the goals. Katz, N. Sinclair, et al. 2005, state that power of motivation through the process of job choice. He described that money has the power to attract the employees, retain and to motivate. However, Banjoko in 1996 state that many employers use money to reward or punish the employees. Staff training: this is one of the strategies that managers use to motivate employees. Hence, motivation is a characteristic which is proportional to the benefits the employee gets. The more they receive, the more they motivated. But it should be a function of human resource management to build a relationship between them and decide on the level of benefits which should be given whilst the employee is motivated at its best level. There is a psychological relationship between employee and employer in an organization. Guest, 2007, explains psychological contract is concerned with the perception of both parties to the employment relationship, organization and individual, of the reciprocal promises and obligations implied in that relationship. Katz and Kahn, 1966, explained that every people have some behavioral expectations with them and they are trying to achieve those things. But these expectations are not mentioned in the employment contract, those are implicit. All employees expect to be treated equal within the company, to do a job that relate to their abilities and skills, to be rewarded according to their commitment, proper feedback for what they've done and how to improve themselves, opportunities for future growth, etc. In contrast, misunderstanding and less treatment may cause stress, poor performance or to a termination of the job. The following model developed by Guest describe that most of the employees expect security, rewards, incentives, etc., and the core of the job contract can be measured by fairness of treatment, trust, etc. In an organization, employees expect that management will provide the opportunities for them to move through the ladder of the company. These advancement opportunities would be related with age and the career stage. Mainly, employees expect that the company will provide these things for them, but it always not happen. To achieve these things, the company is monitor whether employees are loyal to the organization, whether are they following the rules and regulations of the organization, are they try to learn something new, etc. Communication. Effective communication is important to successful running of an organization. Communication is not a simple process. It is a very complex process operating at all levels within the organization. Then employees can communicate with the upper levels of the management about their requirements, working conditions, pay and other terms of employment, health and safety, etc. For an efficient running of an organization, managers and employees suggest that there should be a proper communication system within the organization. Then employees can contribute their participation for the company decision-making process. Effective communication is important for any change management program. It generates trust as organization takes the trouble to explain what they are doing and why. Communication in organizations mostly takes place in a downward direction. The purpose is to provide information to employees about what is going on in the company or to provide previously taken decisions. For example, downward communication include in-house journals and company newsletters, email circulation and briefing sessions with group of employees. Downward communication has its own limitations. For example, it does not receive the knowledge and opinions from the receiving end of the communication. Because of that, many organizations also use upward communication. These not only accessing useful information for management, but they can give the impression to the employees that their knowledge and ideas are valuable to the organization. For example, surveys of employee attitudes, customer care programs, suggestion schemes, etc. The achievement of good communication is a complex and difficult managerial task, and it is the major determinant of the supervisor-subordinate relationship as well as it is the primary management task. Shell 2003. According to studies, there are 7 rules for effective communication. The first rule states that effective communication behaviors, processes, and systems must be considered as strategic imperatives. The second rule states that effective communication is everyone's responsibility and will become a highly critical performance criterion. The third rule states that effective communication requires continual learning and development. The fourth rule states that diversity both challenges and enriches communication practices. The fifth rule mentions that network organizations provide the most efficacious communication environment, Shell 2003. The sixth rule mentions that organizational cultures exert a powerful impact on the effectiveness of communication behaviors, processes, and systems. The last rule states that continual networking will be the preferred mode for highly effective communicators. Communication is one of the main aspects which have a huge impact on the work environment of an organization. Therefore, it is a challenge for managers to construct a fast and efficient communication process where information can move effectively, which will affect on strengthening the employer-employee relationship, which is ultimately influence the success of the company. Skills development and training. The training is more important to seek ways to improve employee knowledge, skills and advance their career prospects. Dale South Beach explains the training as the organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and/or skills for a definite purpose. Training should be seen as a complement to, rather than a substitute for, careful recruitment. This is a specialized function and one of the fundamental functions for human resource management. Trained employees would be valuable assets to an organization. According to Perkins and Shortland, 2006, training may be viewed as a relatively short-term intervention concerned with skills transfer. Development implies a longer-term initiative, Perkins and Shortland, 2006, 122. The organization's main idea of providing training is to develop the skills of their employees, and not only for the local staff but for the international aspects as well. According to Caligari et al., 2005, the training is more about the dealing with the individual performance. Some companies are providing the training in different methods. For example, they provide a training long time before they are starting their work, or some provide the training during the work. In the same time, long-run development plans provide more balanced type of training and education for their employees. Development is mainly future-oriented approach and it helps employees to prepare for the future. For example, development can refer to job experience they achieve, relationships and assessment of personality and abilities. Development helps people to improve their skills which are relevant to other positions in the company or in other places. But training is helping people to perform in their current job. Training and development can be used to improve the knowledge and skills that employees need to perform well in their jobs, and at the same time it can be used to add values to employer's career, which affect on making him feel comfortable and confident about his abilities. 3 main areas of training activity is determination of training needs and priorities, design and delivery of training programs, and evaluation of training effectiveness. Training needs should be identified in a methodical and a systematic fashion. Training needs can be identified at 3 distinct levels: the organizational level, work role level, and individual level. Training is an essential feature of most employee development programs, and the training is a key element in employee development. Other than the training, organizations can use some other methods to facilitate the development process. Some of them are development centers, self-development, learning contract, plan work experience, action learning, coaching and mentoring, etc. Training is most important tool in human resource management because it helps in motivating employees, archiving their professional and personal goals, increasing the level of job satisfaction. Training is a transforming process. It requires input and produce output in the form of knowledge, skills and attitudes, KSA. There are different methods of training which can be divided into cognitive method, behavioral and management development method. Cognitive method. This is basically giving theoretical training to the employees. This demonstrates relationships among concepts, rules for how to do something, written or verbal information, etc. Different approaches are available in cognitive method. 1. Discussions. 2. Lectures. 3. Demonstrations. 4. Virtual reality behavioral method. This is giving practical training to the employees. These methods are useful for skill development. Different approaches are available in this method as well. 1. Case studies. 2. Equipment simulators. 3. Role plays. 4. In-basket techniques management development method. This is concerned with future-oriented and education of the employees. His method further divided into 2 groups. 1. On-the-job training. 2. Off-the-job training. On-the-job training. This is the most common method of conducting training. The employee is placed on the job and manager shows how to do the job. To do it successfully, there should be a proper plan, for example, proper task lists, job breakdowns and performance standards, etc. They are using 4 techniques for on-the-job training. 1. Mentoring. 2. Coaching. 3. Job rotation. The main advantages of on-the-job training are: this is relatively inexpensive, easy to conduct. The training trainees learn while they are doing their job. They get the feedback quickly. Off-the-job training. This can involve both theory and practical training and may include assessment and examinations. There are some methods that they used in off-the-job training. 1. Simulation exercises. 2. Straight lectures. Role of training. The main objective of employee development is to make the individual more employable outside of the organization. Development for employability attempts to motivate individuals by providing them with transferable skills, then they are ready to advance their careers. Chapter 3. Research methodology. Research methodologies are formalized methods used to gather the relevant data to answer the research questions stated to achieve the objective of the research. The research engine of Saunders M., Lewis P. and Thornhill A. 2007, guide the researcher to come up with the most suitable approaches and strategies. Basically, study is designed as a quantitative research to understand degree of importance of each key factor towards researchers' buying decision-making. The research can be identified as a descriptive study that will use to determine the significance of each factor and facilitates to investigate the nature and status of the situation. The research engine layer approaches research philosophy: positivism, interpretivism, or phenomenology, realism. Research approaches: deductive, inductive research strategies, experiment, survey, case study, grounded theory, ethnography, action research. Time horizons: cross-sectional, longitudinal data collection methods, sampling, secondary data, observation, interviews, questionnaires. Table 2. Basically, the practical methods of research include questionnaires and interviews. These can be adapted according to the research objectives and what the researcher intended to achieve through it. It is important to state that this chapter will not provide depth knowledge on overall research methods and methodologies and how they are using in a research. However, it will give an idea about the research methodologies I have adopted in this research. 3.1 An overview of the research methods. Basically, research methods fall into 3 types, and it will select depending on the purpose for which they required. The types are considered as quantitative research, qualitative research, multi-method approach. The main difference between quantitative and qualitative is the method that they analyze the data. Michael et al. In 2000 says quantitative techniques depend on the skills of the researcher as an interviewer in gathering data. Quantitative research: this research generates numerical data or data that can be converted into numbers. Quantitative research comes later in a research project, once the scope of the project is well understood. The ratio analysis would be ideal example for quantitative analysis. In this research, mainly quantitative method will be used because almost all of the information is available through internet and libraries. Diamantopoulos and Schlegelmilch further divided the quantitative analysis into two categories such as categorical data and quantifiable data. In which case categorical data set are meant to be difficult to calculate in the form of numbers. However, that data set could be categorized on a specified basis. Subsequently, they emphasize those quantifiable data sets which could be easily expressed in terms of numbers. Diamantopoulos, et al. 1997, pages 267. Qualitative research. This research is used to explore and understand people's beliefs, behavior, interaction, attitude, etc. It generates non-numerical data, for example, employee motivation, satisfaction, etc. This research is a much more subjective form of research in which the research allows to make their own bias to build up a complete picture. Qualitative research is necessary in situations where the researcher is unclear about outcome he/she is looking for in a study, so that the researcher should have the ability to extract only the important data for his/her study. On the other hand, quantitative research generally identifies the exact outcome of the research before it begins. In qualitative research, the focus of the study may become more visible as time progresses. Qualitative data analysis process. Multi-method approach. Analyze the topic using more than one method may improve understanding of that topic in depth. This kind of a research is considered as multi-method approach. Features of quantitative and qualitative analysis can be summarized as follows. Qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis. The aim is a complete, detailed description. The aim is to classify features. Data is in the form of words, pictures or objects. Data is in the form of numbers and statistics. Researcher may only know roughly in advance what they are looking for. Researcher knows clearly in advance what they are looking for. Analysis conducted through the use of conceptualization. Analysis conducted through the use of diagrams and statistics. Table 3. Source: www.walterm.com. 3.2 Data collection and analysis. Incorporated data in any study can be divided into two major categories: primary data and secondary data. Secondary data will provide the foundation and the background for the study, whilst the primary data will give the concrete evidence for the questions tried to seek through the study. 3.3 Primary data. This is one of the major parts of the study. Data should be collected to align with the answers that should be found for the questions formalized within the study. This primary data will be collected through questionnaires, personal interview and focus group interviews. 3.4 Secondary data. Secondary data is the existing primary data that was collected by any other means. The information can be obtained from previously published materials, such as magazines, newspapers, books, company reports, files and internet. Generally, secondary data set is less expensive. Therefore, it will enable me to access to a large volume of data which is relevant to my analysis. The time is the most critical factor in this research. Because of that, secondary data is mostly used for this research. The most important and relevant secondary data set is chosen and included to the research. Secondary data can be classified into different sections as follows. Types of secondary data. Documentary. This kind of data is organizational records, internet sources, newspaper articles, communications and reports of committees, etc. Multiple sources. This means multiple sources combined, for example documentary and survey data. Industry statistics, country reports, etc. Survey data, government surveys and censuses, surveys by international bodies, etc. 3.5 Data analysis. Since both qualitative and quantitative data would be used, the data analysis would use both qualitative and quantitative analysis methods. For instance, spreadsheets and graphs using statistic scales would be used to analyze the quantitative data, whilst the qualitative data would be analyzed using categorization techniques where general answers would be placed in group categories for analysis. 3.6 Research sample. IFS Research and Development Limited in Sri Lanka will be selected for the study, and the data will be taken from different level of workforce. The intended sample size is nearly 100 employees, and the data is willing to collect through questionnaire and personal interviews. 3.7 Sampling and Research Tools Questionnaire. Many employees as possible at IFS will be invited to participate in a web-based questionnaire. Apart from the employees at IFS Sri Lanka, research will try to reach out the employees working for IFS in many other countries in the world, including the United Kingdom. One of the important significance of this questionnaire is that the usage of web-based research tool, Google Docs. It makes very simple for the participants to provide the answers easily, and also it is very easier for me to collect and process the information. And also the questionnaire included with multiple choice type questions, since I thought it will encourage the target population to participate in the survey, much more than one with an essay type questionnaire. Within the limited resources and time period, the sample will fairly represent the total population. Advantages of questionnaire: relatively inexpensive research. Many people in short time. It is relatively quick to collect information. No prior arrangements are needed. No interviewer bias. Disadvantages of questionnaire: require time and skills to develop an accurate response or lower rate. No opportunity to clarify, may lead to unrealistic expectations. Open-ended questions generate large amount of data that can take a long time to process and analyze. Require a return deadline. No control over who completes it. Personal interview: in addition to the questionnaire, randomly selected personals from different levels will be interviewed via video conferencing and telephone. The purpose of personal interviews is identifying in-depth information they will not be able to discover from questionnaire. Additionally, they will enhance the supplement the information gained by questionnaire. Advantages of interview: allow for clarification, provide relevant data, build involvement and support, can investigate motives and feelings, usually achieve a high response rate. Disadvantages of interview: expensive in terms of time and travel cost, require interviewing skills, may be difficult to analyze results. Chapter 4: Analysis and Results. Having laid down the foundation, this is the chapter which describes the outcome of the research. In this chapter, the data collected through the questionnaires, personal interviews and from the other additional external sources are subjected to a thorough analysis to show the relationship between the employee satisfaction and the performance of the company. Primary questions of the research are categorized into several topics and analyzed using the statistical information of IFS. In that way, it is very easier to compare them against each other and for the reader to have clear understanding of the outcome. The results of the questionnaire and the personal interviews are attached in the appendix section. A. Gender and age factors. Gender: male 60-57%, female 45-43%. Chart A. One of the most important characteristics of the IFS is that both male and female share almost equal portions from the employee population. Therefore, it's a good example to show that company treat the people same way whether the employee is a female or a male. Furthermore, I have realized that, within the employees there is a strong belief that IFS is always trying to continue the particular practice, as they always focus on keeping the male-female equilibrium, even when they do new recruitments. What is your age group? 21-26, 26-25%, 27-33, 49, 47%, 33-40, 16, 15%, 40-50, 11, 10%, above 53, 3%. When considered the age factor, the data shows that IFS is driven by employees from different age groups ranging from 20s to over 50. Which in fact means that the company has to tackle very different psychological contracts, as it's a well-known factor that the basic needs of humans vary with their age. For an example, young employees might satisfy with flexibility of their working hours, while older group is concerned with their job security. According to the information gathered, IFS substantially engaged in satisfying the above factor. Company has provided many facilities within and outside the company to support the different needs and wants related to different age groups. As an example, IFS Sri Lanka has given a considerable degree of freedom to employees for their office hour, which is very satisfying for all of them. Furthermore, company is facilitating recreational center, comprises of a swimming pool, badminton court, table tennis, Caramana basketball, and also sponsors the membership fee for an external gymnasium network which most popular in the young workforce. Additionally, as part of the IFS welfare, company hosts a daycare center for the children of IFS employees, which makes the life easier for most of the mid-aged and older group. The employees satisfied with the facilities provided by the company. B. Training and career development. Inside IFS, training their employees is being taken as a very serious topic. The training department, which functions separately from others, is responsible in lifting up all the employees into a certain level. Thereafter, further developments are planned by the employees' relevant department, where both processes are very efficiently and effectively effects in making everybody professionals in what they do. While professionalism is one of the core values, IFS believe in their culture. According to the IFS's employee development process, they believe in continuous need of training for their employees to fight with the ever-changing world. Workload variation. The above chart shows details of employee development process. Every employee goes through a 6-month probation period, and within those 6 months, company expects their employees to follow above map, as it clearly shows how the individual's contribution to IFS workforces gradually increases along time. In the beginning, more than 90% of their daily work hours are expected to be utilized for their work-oriented training, and when the time passes, their contribution to the day-to-day work increases. However, even after 6 months probation period, employees are expected to consume 10% of their everyday time in personal training, which shows companies' view on the importance of employee development. Are you feeling the training provided is sufficient for you to do your job? Agree 41-39%, disagree 4% strongly agree 44-42%, strongly disagree 5% neither agree or disagree 10% training provided PNG 31 a week 11% twice a week 5% monthly 15-14% yearly 69-66% not applicable 14-13%. How often you are given trainings related to your work? Furthermore, results confirm the above factor, as according to the above charts, more than 80% employees think that they have been given enough training to carry out their work successfully, and based on the 2ND chart, it seems like almost everybody is in a continuous training process, which makes them very strong characters in their respective fields. According to the information gathered from the personal interviews, there are different elements in IFS training process. In-house local trainings are very common within IFS, and very often they arrange worldwide training session via video conference, where it helps to gather employees from the offices all around the world, providing the opportunity for them to share the valuable knowledge. Moreover, it appears that IFS uses some of the very unique techniques in training their employees. Buddy concept and the 4I policy are the most important of them, where the buddy concept: pair every new employee with a person who is more experienced than him, who is capable of transferring the knowledge very effectively, and company ensure that this bond continues until one of them says goodbye to the company. This in fact creates a very strong work-oriented relationship between personnels and ultimately helps in maintaining a strong network within IFS. 4I policy is a concept which started off very recently, attached to the work carried out by the employees. 4 I's gives the meaning of involving two people. 4 I's. To help each other to finish the allocated work successfully and to share the knowledge between them. Not like in buddy concept, these pairs rearrange time to time so that everybody can share their knowledge with others. C. Motivation and job satisfaction. According to Waluthang, 1998, job satisfaction is an emotional thing related to a job, which cannot be measured. Confirming that I have realized that the job satisfaction is something varies from person to person and the role they play within the company. However, I have managed to include few questions in my study, where it helps to have a rough measurement of IFS employees' satisfaction on what they do. Questions were formalized to gather views related to salary revision, bonus and other benefits, job appreciation and level of stress they undergo, which can be considered as the prominent actors affected in job satisfaction of a particular employee. How often your salary is revised? Every 3 months 1%, every 6 months 3%, every 1 year 93%, not applicable 3% salary revise PNG 32, every 3 months 0%, every 6 months 1%, every 1 year 84%, never 15%. How often benefit PNG? How often the company provide bonus or benefits? Do you satisfied with the reflection of your commitment on the salary revisions? Agree 59-57%, disagree 9% strongly agree 25-24%, strongly disagree 2%, neither agree or disagree 8%. Results show that the IFS is following the most common procedure in revising salaries and other benefits, which is an annual basis. Still, employees' view is that IFS is the leading company which offers a higher starting salary and also the higher increments compared to the other IT businesses operates in Sri Lanka, which put in some extra point on IFS brand to motivate their existing and potential future employees. Based on the answers given to the above questions, majority of the participants are agreed on salary, bonus, how they revised and the way their commitment reflects on former procedures, which can be identified as a company's major achievement on providing the satisfaction to their employees. Do you feel any stress while you working? If so, how you rate that? Mild 19%, moderate 74-72%, severe 4% extreme 5% not applicable 0%. Are you satisfied with your overall personal development? Yes 90%, no 10%. Other most important factor tied up with the job satisfaction would be the level of stress they has to undergo during the employment. Many HR management theories have pointed out that the higher level of stress has a negative impact on the employee satisfaction, which directly affects the performance of the particular individuals. Based on the responses, majority experience a mild or moderate level of stress, which in fact they agreed that IFS maintains a balanced working environment. Furthermore, during the personal interviews, most of the employees specially mentioned their feelings towards the IFS culture and working environment, which shows their appreciation. And as external observer, I have realized features like flexible working hours, in-house recreational facilities, etc. has a huge impact on their particular views. On the former. D. Management and communication. Do you have a proper communication with your peers? Agree 70%, disagree 11%, strongly agree 23%, strongly disagree 11%, neither agree or disagree 5%. Do you think the communication within the company is effective? Agree 50%, disagree 4%, strongly agree 24%, strongly disagree 2%, neither agree or disagree 19%. Effective communication, indeed one of the factor affects an employee morale. As the information related to his work flows easily and efficiently, it makes very easier for the employees to take the correct decisions whenever it is necessary. Also, it is one of the factors makes them feel more important within the company, and that feeling will motivate them, and employees tend to be more committed on what they do, which gives a positive impact on the overall company performance. Results shows that most of the employees are really satisfied with the level of communication takes place inside IFS. More than 90% of participants accept the fact that there are good communication channel between them and their superiors, and also majority of the population confirm that, agreeing on the fact, the company process very effective communication within all employees. Are you satisfied with the job you are doing? Agree 49-48%, disagree 3%, strongly agree 38-37%, strongly disagree 2%, neither agree or disagree 11%. What is your overall opinion of the organization's management? Highly favorable 51-49%, fairly favorable 42-40%, highly unfavorable 4%, fairly unfavorable 6%, other comments 1%. Among all, most important thing is to know the employee's opinion on what they do and how they are managed. From the answers given to the above two questions, I believe that IFS has achieved a greater success in managing their employees. Majority of the employees satisfied with what they do, which is most important in gaining their full commitment towards the company, and also over 80% of participants believes that they are under a well-organized management, which is in fact shows the trust the management has gained, which can be identified as the ultimate reward. Chapter 5 Conclusion and Recommendations. The research was conducted for a period of 4 months and anticipated in participating as many as possible IFS employees in collecting the data. On the collected data, analysis was done in the previous chapter, using various methods and aimed to interpret the degree of importance of human resource management on the development and well-being of a company. The topic I have discussed is mainly concerned about the human resource management and how it affects to a development of an organization. According to the survey done, I can conclude that effective human resource management have a major impact on the overall performance of the company. Most of the employees working in IFS, they are satisfied with the facilities provided by the company and the way they treat to them. When they are satisfied with the facilities, their contribution to the company is higher. Do you satisfied with the facilities and benefits given to you, compared to your commitment toward the company? 53-51% disagree, 66% strongly agree, 29-28% strongly disagree, 4% neither agree or disagree, 11% above 2S shows the relationship between employee satisfaction and the success of the company. 38 shows that more than 80% of the population agreed with the facilities and the benefits given to them with compared to their commitment towards the company, which in fact confirmed by 39. Were IFS in a trend of increasing their net revenue per employee value. When analyzing some of the other financial data, it's realized that IFS hasn't achieved the state of satisfied employees without committed themselves to it. According to the 40 shown below, they have been continuously investing additional money on employee welfare, which in turn proved to be helpful in taking the company to a stronger position. Furthermore, the importance of the above fact is more visible when it is compared with the amount of money involved with employee expenses and net revenue. According to the 40, in 2008, per employee, IFS have invested SKR $1,038,000 more than in 2007, and 39 shows net revenue per employee has increased by SKR $1,056,000 compared to the last year. Therefore, at the end of the day, IFS management has been succeeded on their mission of making a more committed employee population within their company, which is illustrated by their financial achievements. How long have you been working in this company? Less than 1 year 77%, 1 to 2 years 20-19%, 2 to 4 years 47-45%, 5 to 10 years 25-24%, more than 10 years 55%. Are you satisfied with the facilities provided by the company? Strongly agree 40-38%, agree 51-49%, disagree 4% strongly disagree 3% neither agree or disagree 7% above illustrates another important fact to show the strength of the IFS human resource management policies. According to the values, more people tends to stay with the company for a longer period, which is more convenient from the company's point of view, as they always have very experienced people to guide their way. Moreover, most of them are very satisfied with the facilities given to them, which mean they don't have a feeling of grievance on their employment at IFS. Considering all above facts and analysis, it's convinced that the positive human resource management has a dramatic impact on the performance of the company. In a very broad way, it does not only affect the success of the company, but it serves a much greater cause of lifting up the economy of the particular countries where the company is operated. Taking IFS as an example, they are playing a prominent role in Sri Lankan IT sector by providing enormous job opportunities in local and as well as an international level, and cultivating professionals in the field of IT to lead Sri Lanka to success, which would be very challenging with the ever-changing technology. As it has been proved throughout the study, human resource policies in IFS have made it easier for them to achieve success in this endeavor. Recommendation: based on the scope I have covered, it can be recommended that effective investment on human resource management would helpful in achieving the company's financial targets. As the study progressed, it illustrates the importance of companies' influence on the employee well-being, as it would increase their morale, motivation, which will encourage them to work efficiently for their company. The increasing importance of effective HR management gives a higher value on this study topic. It should be continued in a much broader way to find the exact directions where the company should maneuver their employees in order to take the company into the next level. Also, it will result in vibrant outcome which becomes less challengeable by others. References: 1. Armstrong M. 2009, Armstrong's Handbook of Human Resource Management Practice, 11th edition. London, Koken, page 2. Rao P.S., 2004. Human Resource Management, 1st edition 3. Schuler, R.S., 5th edition, Managing Human Resources 4. Potter L.W., Bigley G.A. and Steers R.M., 2003, 7th edition, Motivation and Work Behavior 5. Saunders M., Lewis P. and Thornhill A., 2007, 4th edition, Research Methods for Business Students 6. Stephan P.R., 2008. The Truth About Managing People. Person Education Limited 7. Linda Gratian, 1999. Strategic HR Management, Oxford Press 8. Bryman, A. and Bell, E. 2003, Business Research Methods. Oxford, Oxford University Press 9. Dowling, P.J. and Welch ed. 2004, 4th edition, International Human Resource Management, Managing People in a Multinational Context 10. Perkins, S.J. and Shortland, S.M. 2006, 2nd edition, Strategic International Human Resource Management, Choices and Consequences in Multinational People Management. London, Koken, page 11. Evans, P. Puchik, V. and Barsu, J.L. 2002, The Global Challenge, International Human Resource Management. London, McGraw-Hill 12. Disler, G. 2003, 9th edition, Human Resource Management, Pearson Education Incorporated, India 13. Disler, G. 2008, 11th edition, Human Resource Management 14. Jackson/Schuller, Human Resource Management International Perspectives 15. Beardwell I., Holden L. and Clayton T., 2004, Human Resource Management, 4th edition 16. Boxall P. and Purcell J., 2008, 2nd edition, Strategy and Human Resource Management 17. Abbott, B., Bortons, K., 2002, Research Designs and Methods, A Process Approach, The McGraw-Hill Companies, Incorporated, 5th ed. and Michael W. Drafk and Stan Cosson, 7th edition, The Human Side of Organizations Wiesner R. and Millett B., HRM Challenges and Future Directions 20. Byans, D., Meglink, A., Vasta, A., 2005, The Role of the Psychological Contract in Retention 21. Greer, C.R., 2001, Strategic Human Resource Management, A General Managerial Approach, Pearson Education Incorporated, India, 2nd ed. and Robbins S.P., 2003, Organizational Behavior, 10th edition, Pearson Education Incorporated, India Day, I. Haley, M.J. and Rawlingon, M.B., 1993, Qualitative Data Analysis, London, Routledge The IFS Company, 2008, Annual Reports and Accounts The IFS Company, 2007, Annual Report 26 http://scholar.lib.vt.edu, November 20, 2009 27 http://ivithasys.typepad.com. November 21, 2009 28 www.r.co.uk, November 21, 2009 29 http://scholar.lib.vt.edu, December 23, 2009 30 http://businessbulls.com, October 12, 2010 http://www.slicta.lk/ Advantage/ Industry, October 1, 2010 http://traininganddevelopment.naukrihip.com, December 1, 2010 33 www.walterm.com, November 1, 2010 34 susive.com/ Images/ Lindsay/ et.htm, December 1, 2010 35. Human Resource Management, Harriet Watt University Bibliography 1. Yin, R.K. 2nd edition, 1994, Case Study Research, Design and Methods. London, Sage Publication. 2. Smith L., 1989, People and Profit. Kroner Publication Limited 3. James R. Evans, 2007, Total Quality Management Organization and Strategy. 4. Beardwell I. and Holden L., 2001, 3rd edition, Human Resource Management A Contemporary Approach 5. Kalagiri, P., Lazarova, M. and Tariq, I. 2005, Training, Learning and Development in Multinational Organization. 6. Adams J., 2007, Managing People in Organization, Palgrave Macmillan 7. Zickman W. G., 2000, 6th edition, Business Research Methods 8. Leopold J. and Harris L., 2009, 2nd edition, The Strategic Managing of Human Resources Martin J., Organizational Behavior Fiffer, J., 1998, 6 Dangerous Myths About Pay, Harvard Business Review, May-June, reprint number 98309 http://www.slicta.lk/ Advantage/ Industry, November 20, 2009 12. Human Resource Management, Heriot-Watt University Appendix 1 Questionnaire Personal Interview 1. What is your position in the company? 2. What are your main responsibilities? 3. Are you having all the facilities to do your job? 4. What have you done to improve your knowledge while you are working? 5. What are the challenges you face when you're working? 6. What are the special features you have noticed at IFS, with compared to others? 7. Do you face any problem with management when you're working? 8. What do you think that company has to develop more? Appendix 2 Financial Data Net Revenue of IFS in SKR. Millions. 7. Year 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 Net revenue 2178, 2149, 2209, 2356, 2518 Earning before interest and tax in SKR. Millions. EBIT. 8. Year 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 EBIT minus 128, 97, 120, 141, 154 Net debt for the company in SKR. Millions. 9. Year 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 Net debt 363, 294, 166 33 Timeline activity Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, Week 5, Week 6, Week 7, Week 8, Week 9, Week 10, Week 11, Week 12, Week 13, Week 14 Research of secondary data, primary data collection, evaluation. Writing the study. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me. I hope you enjoyed learning about HRM dissertation as much as I did. Kindly remember that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay at OWL Essays for as little as $10. The link is in the description. See you next time.